Welcome to the future Thompson home. That was 19 months ago. And that was nearly 6 years ago. And now our time in this home is coming to an end. So I thought it would be fun if we did one final walkthrough just to show you how the house has evolved throughout the years. So just walk through the front door, and I'm standing in the living room. Not much has changed in the entry and the front part of our house since the last video, besides some decor. The bigger changes we're gonna see in just a little bit when we go upstairs. I'd say the biggest change was the little boy that popped up behind the chair. He's 6 years older and about to be a senior in high school. In our last video, I don't feel like we showed much of the office, but truly this is the room I probably spend the most of my time in. Over here, this kitchen is going to be moved out into this direction, and back there is going to be the mud room and butler's pantry and all that good stuff. The kitchen, we scooted more this way to be directly in line with the living room, and just gave it that modern feel. It's a design I've not done before. In the kitchen, the biggest change is this table. This was my second attempt at a concrete tabletop. Don't know that I would do it again. It's got lots of flaws, but we have loved it. As far as the rest of the kitchen, I think I'm most proud about what hasn't changed, and that is plants. They seem to thrive in this window. So I think if you went back and looked at that old video, you'd see some of those same plants that you see now. So behind me is really where the old kitchen started. And so now we have this reconfigured as our laundry room. So this door right here brings us in from the garage. And then back this way is where we have laundry. Off the laundry room is maybe one of my favorite rooms of this home, and that's our tiny little butler's pantry. I continue to love my butler's pantry, but I did make an upgrade about a year ago when I got this ice machine. We went ahead and ripped out the old wood countertops because they were not working well with the water, lots of water stains, and we upgraded to the leathered granite. Right, and then right now we're walking into what is the master bedroom and what will be the master bedroom. It's really obvious right now that this is an enclosed garage, and our goal is to, I don't want you to know that. I don't want you to know that this used to be a garage. Okay, so we're pointing out Colby's new lighting skills.
Yeah.
After 3 years of college.
Wow, I have a little tiny light.
Yep. Anyway, we are now in the primary bedroom. It has received an upgrade. It used to have a bright green wall, and that green wall was to coordinate with the feature tile in the primary bathroom. But now that tile changed, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. And so now we have this black wall that has some trim detail to it.
Okay, give me the light. We're done with this bit.
Okay. And now we're in our master bathroom, and I gotta tell you, I'm pretty proud of how this one turned out. If you remember, I actually did this bathroom as a surprise for Rory because I wasn't sure how he was gonna react with my feature tile, and I didn't want him to tell me no, but I knew if he saw it in the end, he'd love it. And I was right. So if you remember, I used to have a green tile that I was very proud of, but it was a concrete tile. And learn from me, do not use a concrete tile in your shower. It left awful water marks, soap residue, I don't know what it was. It was this white film that I could not get off the tile. And so last year we ripped that green tile down. I looked for that green in a ceramic and couldn't find it, but I was able to find a similar tile in blue in ceramic, and so ta-da, we no longer have the white film. So if this is gonna be my office, and this is another bedroom, but I didn't tell you, it's gonna be our guest bedroom, where are our boys gonna go? Well, if we walk over here, let me just give you a little hint. That's right, we're moving on up. Tearing off the roof and adding a second story was the biggest thing we did in our original renovation. And now, 6 years later, this is where you're gonna see the biggest changes since our last video.
So Colby, because I did not know that you had put this video on YouTube and didn't know that you're supposed to be, checking comments, I missed a lot of comments.
You did. That's okay.
And well, there were some people that were a little upset because they'd asked me questions and I didn't respond, and I feel really bad about that.
That's pretty normal, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned.
Well, several people asked me about the actual renovation cost. And I'll be honest, I don't remember how much we spent on this renovation, but I will say taking the roof off, adding the second story, we probably would have been money ahead if we had just bulldozed and started over. So Colby, when we first moved in, if you remember, I wanted to do your bedroom as your birthday present that year.
I remember.
You were not interested in that, either
I
was
was
your
like
brother.
15.
That's right. But I still wanted to surprise you, and so when you and your brother went away to summer camp, I surprised you with bedroom makeovers.
They're quite cool. I really like this.
Thank you. I tried to capture your personalities.
Yeah. Right now it looks a little bit like Indiana Jones lives here, but that's just the staging.
That's staging. We're about to put the house on the market, and so, needed to look at its best.
Yeah. If you look up at the drone, that would have been, we're like what it would have been.
Yeah.
But it's still very woodsy. Still like the woods.
You want me to show you your brother's room?
Yeah, let's go.
So Cohen is my more sporty kid. Would you agree with that statement?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to give him a street ball theme. You're gonna see the graffiti wallpaper. I had this welded, so it kind of is reminiscent of a chain link fence. And then of course we've got the basketball floor and hoop. And so he's had a lot of fun in here. The last room we visited on our last tour was the man cave. At that time, I was still trying to pass it off as a playroom.
I like to call it the playroom, but my boys all insist it's the man cave.
But since then, it has transformed into a man cave. I mean, I can't call it anything but a man cave. And so, if you remember, I mentioned that surprise renovation I did when Rory went on that mission trip. Well, this was part of it. I had my wonderful cabinet guy, Jeff, come in and make some custom cabinetry that not only majorly improved the design, but also the function of the space. And then what's really special about this trophy case is the 2 Murphy beds. So this has been so handy when y'all have had sleepovers. This room has provided 2 extra beds, so we use them all the time. And then over here we have a little kitchenette. And so we have a microwave, and then when Colby comes home from college, he brings all of his coffee paraphernalia, and that's a place for it to land.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. And then
She said it. She said yeah.
And then over here, we no longer have the PlayStation sitting on the floor. My dad actually helped me build this unit. And then, what man cave doesn't have the monstrosity of workout equipment.
And custom cabinets.
And custom cabinets. So let's end this farewell tour with our backyard. This space had not been renovated at our last video. I think I did this also during that surprise renovation when Rory went on that mission trip. Little Debbie is also a new addition to our home since
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Wow.
Yeah.
Aww.
So anyway, we have enjoyed this space, and I love how it turned out. It has actually inspired a lot of the design features that we're doing in our next house. We've loved it. It's quite dreamy at night when the party lights are on. We've really enjoyed it. It's been a fun home. I'm gonna miss this place.
Me too. Me too.